CEO likely will not appear at Monday's first event in New York to rally investors. He's worried apparently about security. Meanwhile, my next guest coming to the defense of Facebook users because of privacy and security concerns. A New York Democratic Congressman Engel co-sponsored a bill that bans potential employers from asking applicants for their username and password. Congressman, good to see you in the flesh.
Thank you. Good to be here.
You're concerned that this is a big intrusion on privacy. Pretty much.
Well, it's intrusion of privacy if an employer says to someone, unless you give me your personal password so I can go online and look everything up about you, I'm not going to hire you. And I don't think that's a privacy that people should be forced to give up. I have nothing against anyone going online and looking up anybody that wants to put information up there on Facebook. I have no problem with that. People can control how much privacy they want on Facebook, but I do have problems with, as a bottom line in terms of getting the job, you have to give up your password or things like that. I don't think that's right.
Now, I'm not saying Congress should condone what employers might or might not ask for, but shouldn't you be devoting your time to just making sure they hire people?
Well, I'm multifaceted. I think we can do both. I think we can try.
But you're not doing that, the hiring part. They're not doing that in droves.
Well, I think Congress needs to get its act together and try to do things on a bipartisan basis so that we
Because the rap from those employers, sir, is that you guys don't like them. That the president, Democratic leaders such as yourself, don't like employers. And anytime you can find a case where it looks like they're intruding on privacy, and here you're certainly on your grounds that that's icky, to say the least, you'll pounce on that.
No, I don't think one thing has anything to do with another. And I love employers. I was
just talking to one at the start of the show that you could not have been offering, not you specifically, a more inhospitable environment.
Well, I just think, and it's not only employers, by the way, it's universities. They sometimes do this to allow people to serve on sports teams. They want to know personal information about them. I think the right to privacy is very important. And by the way, some of my Republican colleagues, I'm sure, agree with me, like Ron Paul and some others.
No doubt. I guess what I'm saying is I think that's a legitimate beef, and the Facebook people have said, not on our watch. We don't even like employers asking for it. So there is something that I guess I see a lot more effort looking at this sort of stuff than getting employers to just hire people, to provide the environment to hire people. Then we can go over the details about what information they're requesting and all that. But I think we got to get the horse before the cart, not the cart before the horse.
Well, I think we can do both. And frankly, I think Democrats and Republicans can do both. I think Republicans traditionally have not liked either big government or big brother kind of snooping in on things. And many Democrats, myself included, we feel that we're civil libertarians and we don't want people being forced to divulge private things if they don't want to. I mean, I think we have a right to privacy.
What do you think happens to the worker who doesn't divulge this information or say none of your business? That they're toast, right? They're not going to be hired.
Well, they're toast now, and that's what my bill is trying to get at. We're trying to make it so that it's illegal to
illegal for them to even ask.
Yes.
So if they were to say, I can't ask you this, but would you be open to my getting your Facebook password if that person refuses, because that request wouldn't be illegal?
Right. If they refuse, that they can't be discriminated against. Now, several states are introducing legislation like this.
Right.
My own assemblyman in New York, Jeffrey Dinowitz, has introduced it in the New York State Assembly. In Maryland, they've done it. There are 10 states who have done this.
Very few businesses are even interested in this Facebook stuff. Did you know that? They're really not.
Well, I don't know. Then they shouldn't have any objection. And
I just think you're catching a red herring here.
People should be protected. Look, it's just like several years ago I introduced a bill, along with Ron Paul, by the way. We were the two sponsors of the bill, to make it illegal for TSA officers to demand a password from someone's private laptop. I feel just as strongly about that. I don't think that is something that we should be able to give. We need to respect privacy, and I think that this will help to do that. This stems out of a ruling in a Pennsylvania case or New Jersey case where people who worked in a restaurant were doing things online to talk about the restaurant, and then the employer demanded to know their passwords, and when they refused to give them up, he fired them all. They sued, and the court ruled in their favor that they should not have been fired.
But they were duplicitous little worms to do that in the first place, don't you think?
Well, I don't know, but I just know what the court ruled. But I do think we have the right to privacy, and I think it's a very important American concept.
Fair enough. Congressman, thank you.
Thank you, Neil.
Very good seeing you again.
Good seeing you.
When we come back